I'm sure you read it in the minutes, you know, because it wasn't here, I just forgot about it. I'm sure that's what he was doing. When he got home, he would read the minutes.
I was up in Long Beach for that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
But the doctor's also got that banner sitting out there, like temporary sign. Limit on them things.
There is.
That thing's been out there a long time.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
But they're not operating.
Oh, yeah, they're open. The sign says open for business, yeah.
I'm
I'm ready when you are, Aaron.
Ready to go.
Okay, at this time, we'll call the building board meeting to order. Please take the roll.
Trustee Holman,
Here.
trustee Bueller,
Here.
Reed.
Yep.
Yes.
Here.
It's like, oh, almost promoted you. It's like, oh.
Are there any persons desiring to be heard by the building board? None, and then consideration of the minutes from July 7th.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from July 7th.
I'll second that. I was here for that one.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, under new business, just the two bullet points. The first one is the occupancy permit for Brave Kids League located at 12714 West Hampton, Suite A.
So this is a prospective business going into Paul Schwartz's business adjacent to us. This is a prospective business that, while the primary location for this business further down Silver Spring deals with childcare of kind of all ages, this specific location is not, as conveyed by the owner, to be used for childcare, while the overall business does hold that valid license from the state. For this location specifically, that requirement for a state license for this location would be tripped if they were servicing children age 6 years or less. So it's something that we'll definitely, from a staff side, PD side, definitely keep an eye on to see what's going on. But as the application, as the business plan is written, this location does not need that specific license, given the age range and the scope of services, after school programs, educational classes for this site.
Where on Silver Spring is the other one, if I may ask?
I don't have that answer off the top, but I can get back to you on
Is
that.
it the same name?
I would have to double check that.
I don't think so, because this one is a DBA. This is a doing business as
Yes.
Brave Kids Big League DBA.
Where do you see DBA?
It's on the original, well, they have it on the business contact form for the police.
Oh,
That's where it
I see.
tripped.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on the other. It's not on the
I
other.
didn't see it on,
So
it's not on the agenda one.
I don't see in here that it states they won't be doing childcare. They have in their business plan, they are doing childcare, and it will not be at the Silver Spring location. Well, this is not the Silver Spring location, so we don't have anything in writing saying it's not going to be.
Mhm.
And what Dave presented to us says there will be childcare services there. Outdoor play and physical activities, there's nothing there but a parking lot and an alley. This thing's kind of all over what it wants to do. I would imagine it'll service Butler, even though it says it services Milwaukee County for programs. You know, a lot of renting out a activity space to other people is what it kind of looks like.
Well, that's part of my question. It says Monday to Friday, 3 PM to 7 PM. If they're gonna have party rentals for, I would assume that's gonna be on a Saturday or a Sunday. And they have 3 to 7 PM for operating hours, Monday to Friday. And then it says birthday party rentals for families.
I don't have that.
Mhm.
Where is that on?
Page one of
It's,
three.
number 6, organized birthday parties.
Because on their application, it doesn't have times.
I got it on right here. Business information, Monday to Friday, 3 to 7 PM. Nothing on Saturdays, Sundays. It's on the village.
You know, we're doing birthday party. I mean, is there food, are they selling food? Are they? I think we have a lot more questions than we have answers for this.
Yep.
And they're not here, correct?
They are not here.
Okay. Just, I mean, we can continue on, but I think just based off of the million questions we've just come up with quickly, I think we table this and put it together for administration to get some more answers for us.
And that the person's at the next meeting.
At the yeah, definitely.
And that would be who?
The next meeting would likely be August 18th. So I have a request to have the applicant be in person, understanding that there's a few logic gaps in their application and materials. In the motion, it would be saying, hey, we need to identify several questions brought up during discussion, as well as a request for the applicant to be in person at the next meeting, but we don't have to specify that date.
Okay,
Okay, that's the motion
what Aaron said.
and second. Okay.
I'll make the motion.
That's to table till till whatever time is best, assuming we can get the communication with them. Probably a month, but we'll leave that part out there. Okay, table, pending further information. Motion is made and seconded. Any other discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unopposed.
And
So
just to double check, who made that second?
Me.
Read. All right, then the second item on our agenda is discussion regarding possible village action when permits fail to be applied for. You gonna speak to that, Aaron, or should I get the ball rolling on that?
Second. So this is a follow-up to the previous building board and a kind of a long-running frustration with certain properties as Brookfield is identifying and bringing a number of these forward, as village staff is identifying a number of signs that go up after the fact, that a number of businesses slash potential property owners in addition are not necessarily getting permits, but are instead being found after the fact. And so I think the last meeting, every item was an after the fact application.
Yep.
And there was frustration as far as from the committee saying, can we discuss what options we as a committee want the staff to try and explore, pursue, or enact to try and gain better compliance rather than relying on staff, PD, and the fire department to then find these issues and kind of force that compliance. And so I think with that kind of backdrop, I'll hand it back to you for
Okay.
discussion.
Yep. So, knowing that the finance committee has to meet here in a little bit of time, but so I'll leave it up to you guys to, if you have suggestions, to put those out at this time. I've got a couple too, but are you prepared to start, Eric? Do you want to start?
I can, I definitely think it's what we're doing and trying to do is not working. So I think that's why we're taking this next step. But a couple things is the building owners themselves need to start being held accountable. in some form, whether it be a fine for having illegal tenants. Because if they don't come for applications, they're illegal. It's an illegal business inside the village. Kind of different with the signs. Those go mostly to the business itself. You know, they got to start handing out fines now. I believe we can do a number of things, double, triple the cost of it once they're caught and brought, because someone else is putting in extra time. So it's costing the village for us to catch these people. I mean, the last one was 15 years. We had someone in the village and we didn't know they existed. So that's a couple short ideas. I think the fines just need to start to come out, whether it be partial with the building owners, but I think we could talk with them and work with them a little bit to get them on board so they don't get fined. But
Okay. Did you have any thoughts? You're getting kind of laid in on
I'm
this,
right
so-
along with that. I mean,
Okay.
I think the businesses need to know that before they hand out the keys to someone to occupy the space,
Sure.
that they have an
Yes.
occupancy permit.
Sure.
got to get away from the mentality of a head in a bed, you know.
Here's the keys, move in.
I just need it, and I get that urgency as a owner of a building, that they need to survive by having tenants, but they got to help a little bit along the way too. They can't just let willy nilly. I don't know what that structure looks like for fines or whatever. I mean, that's something we can start looking at what other communities possibly may be doing, and adapt from that.
Okay, so just for my own clarification, we're looking at the building owner and who's ever occupying and or putting up a sign. Those are the targets, right? Just so I'm clear on that, okay? So my suggestions, I echo the additional, at least double, if not tripling the fine as a potential item to utilize. I think, and I know we talked offline a little bit too, possibly instituting some kind of a probation period when somebody occupies, without getting the permit first, that they have a mandated, 1-year review and they have to apply again, which maybe they normally wouldn't have had to do. So a probation period of whatever, length of time will be determined. You could figure that out.
Yeah, and that could be an administrative pass through that they don't have any violations or whatever. Administration could just, feather that through without bringing it back to the board. So I agree. That's a great.
So just another concept that we could utilize. Another one would be to, so if somebody is an occupant and they're found out through an inspection, they are the ones that get fined, correct?
So
Typically?
if we, so yes, typically, right, as of right now, I have not seen it in my time with the village that specifically happened as far as a actual fine. It has been discussed that permit fees might be doubled for that specific tenant as they come forward. The enforcement of against tenants is problematic if, let's say, in the unlikely event that a tenant is found out and they just try and disappear without a employee identification number and additional information, we can't chase the tenant out of town, as it were. The property owner is, for at least zoning violations, is always the backstop of where responsibility always falls.
All right, but typically though, it's
But
the occupant.
typically, it would
Yeah.
be the occupant that a triple fine, a double increase in permitting
Yeah, I
costs.
think we're using those terms equivalently, right? When we say a fine, we're meaning doubling and or tripling the fee.
Okay.
So we're saying the same thing in different words. Okay, yeah.
So is the board looking at an ordinance violation fine or forfeiture against the property owner if this happens? Or are we just looking at
Well,
businesses,
that's what we got.
business
I think it
probation?
needs more discussion. There is, who holds what accountability, right?
Sure.
I mean, so I think there's some on both ends, right? I mean, as a business owner, which I am, right? You got to have licenses. Butler is no different than any other community, and we have to get that kind of
Okay.
you know,
Yep.
done. So
Where I was going was in a scenario where, say, an occupant would have had to pay the fee and or a fine, is it legal or is it an option for us to fine them and the building owner? So again, we're sending a stronger message then to both parties.
I
So
would
don't
have
even know if
to,
that's like legal, but that would be an idea I would present.
so I would have to double check with legal on that.
Yeah,
So
figured.
if we were to do two separate things where your permit costs more because you're in here illegally, and then this property has a zoning violation or a ordinance violation, essentially, instead of using one section of the code to penalize two people, there might be one infraction, but
Yeah.
two separate parties are involved
I
from
think for the
two.
purposes of this discussion, we'll keep the zoning violations separate
Okay,
and kind of deal with those on a separate, discussion. We're looking at when people are occupying or putting up a sign
Yep.
before getting a permit to do that.
yes.
That's what we're seeing kind of run.
yeah, those two
would be
main
also-
issues. I think legal will probably give us
Yep.
some more.
The other suggestions I had were to include information to the property owners via their utility bills, explaining that, enforcement's going to be stepped up and XYZ could be the potential consequences. And then even occasional reminders a handful of times in the e-newsletter that we put out. Not every week, but, maybe half a dozen times a year, information about, unauthorized occupancies and that kind of a thing. Just another way to get the word out there so that people are seeing it.
Yeah, I like that idea. They get a notice, they get their bill,
Yeah.
utility bill,
Everybody
they got
gets
the
it.
notice.
Every building owner is going to get that, whether they read it or not,
Yeah.
but that's their problem.
But I
then,
think
but-
there has to be a penalty on building
Sure.
owners that are letting people move in without any
And then-
occupancy.
And then that information can, after say 2/4 of that information going out with the bill, that gives administration the leverage to say, well, you've been informed and now you're not complying, you know what I mean? So, that kind of a thing. So, so do you have all those, Aaron? We talked about possibly tripling the fee / fine in that regard. Information with utility bill and the e-newsletter, a probation period for unauthorized occupants. Am I missing anything?
No.
Okay.
I think you're good.
And then if we could just put this then on the next month's agenda as well, just to follow up and see where, what the administration finds out as far as if both can be fined or not. And then maybe we can kind of refine some of these a little bit and then go from there.
So I think for formality's sake, then in the motion, we would say, hey, we are tabling this item for the next meeting.
I'll make a motion to table this item till next month's meeting till we have some more feedback from administration and the law team.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and that's at 5:58, just in time for finance.
Oh, we took a little bit of there.
Thank you.
And that was Reed that I believe seconded the motion to adjourn.
Is it just me?